Earlier, we had Dean Esposito on, one of your mayoral candidates for the city of Danbury, and now the other joins us, Roberto Alves. What's up, Roberto?
Hey, Roberto.
Gentlemen, good morning. How are you guys?
Good. It was good seeing you yesterday. Roberto came by, cut his commercial, and I gave him a tour of the studio. Right?
Yeah, was he impressed?
I said, wait, hold on. I said, you ever see this before? He said, no. And I walked him in. I go, this is it. That's the tour.
That's it.
Were you impressed? I get the feeling you weren't. I'm not.
No. It was cool to see what you guys are doing there. I'd love to do these in person. I don't know what the policies are there, but I think it's always more fun when you can interact with the people right in front of you.
When
so it was nice to see.
When I got up this morning and I start thinking about the show on my drive in, I'm like, what are we going to talk about this morning? And then it turns out there's a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
When we had Dean on, I asked him first about... So let's start with the debate. And then we'll get to Dean's comments. What did you think of the debate? What was your experience? What was your takeaway from it?
Well, I mean, we came incredibly prepared, and if I had lost the debate, I would have had the same answer Dean did, but that wasn't the case. I invite you, Ethan, and all the listeners here to listen to debate or view it. It's on the Chamber of Commerce's Facebook page. You can stream it. Better yet, you guys should just clip it and play, the first 12 minutes right now and let me know what you guys think.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to do something with it. But, he kept trying to get it to me, and I was up to my,
Did you yell at him?
I was up to my bag in work yesterday. So, no, I did not yell at him.
Okay.
All right. So you won. You're saying, okay. Now, Dean said he called you out. What you're referring to is he said it was sort of like a tie. I'm paraphrasing. And then he said he called you out on your negativity. What do you say about that?
I wasn't being negative. I was just talking about detailed facts and we talk about differences. You create that's a job interview, and you show why you're different than the other candidate, and you put the differential there for everybody to see. We talked about detailed plans because we have detailed plans. We have multiple plans on our website. Again, I invite everybody to go look at danbury.youtube and see all these plans. If you go to my opponent's page, he's got 700 words, and that's it. And I've said it then, I'll say it again. Danbury deserves more than 700 words. It upsets me that he goes and thinks I'm just talking negatively about the town. No, I'm talking about the opportunities I see in this town. I see a city with so much potential that just hasn't been met, and that's why we need different views. I love this city. That's why I've lived here, and I haven't, and my kids are here. He talks about how great Danbury is, how it's the shining star of Connecticut, and let's get past, the debate on whether he lives here now or doesn't live here now, and we can go to the Facebook feed and look at his neighbor from Brookfield on his comment on that one. But I asked him, and he wouldn't answer it. If Danbury's so great, and it's been so great under the years you lived there, why did you leave? And he refuses to answer that question because he left for a reason, and he left for a community that taxes more than Danbury. So it's kind of comical to me. But here we are presenting our ideas, and they're resonating with people. And they're resonating with people so much that now they're grasping at straws. Just earlier today, to you gentlemen, he talked about the police issue again, and I said it at the debate. I said it on your radio, and I'll say it again right now. I'm not defunding the police. I've been a vocal advocate of funding the police. It's on record. Yes, I've talked to the chief, and I've talked to the guys who are actually on the road. I don't try to bring in personal issues here, but my brother-in-law is a Danbury cop. I have high school friends that are Danbury police officers. Again, I've been in this community. I've stayed in this community. Yes, I'm on the city council, and I voted no on the budget. I voted at no on the budget that his office creates, that his office gave the police officers less money than they requested for training. So here we go, him talking about how he wants to fund police, but his budget didn't give them the money they asked for. It's comical to me. So let's not go there, because I have a record on that, and I was very clear to anybody who endorsed me where I stood on that, and they still endorsed me. Another question I asked him, because he wants to make this about party lines, and he won't answer, because, again, we didn't have to go there. It's do you or do you not support Donald Trump? He walked around that question because he knows he can't answer that question. Because to him, it's all about playing politics. He's politicizing the police. He's politicizing our city because he needs a job. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do what's better for Danbury.
He also said, again, that you will raise taxes, that you're saying one thing and you'll do another. What do you say about that?
I say that couldn't be further from the truth. Again, our plans are laid out. He sent a mailer to some people that I saw that, again, it's comical, that had Danbury's mill rate. And here they go comparing us to, I want to say, Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven on their mill rates, because I want to run this like a city. But both of you guys have heard me say this over and over. And Lou, you've heard me say it off the radio. I keep talking about comparing Danbury to other places in Fairfield County who we should be comparing ourselves to that are closer to Danbury is than we're not a Hartford or Bridgeport. We won't be a Hartford or Bridgeport, and they have different challenges that we don't have. I'm trying to capitalize on the same opportunities Norwalk and Stamford have capitalized on, because that's where we're missing the boat in entertainment and job creation and city services. So the reality is, when I talk about comparing us to cities, I say what cities? I say Stamford and Norwalk, and both those communities have lower mill rates, lower than Danbury. So again, it's easy to bend the truth to fit your narrative when you want to say it, but those are the facts. Here I am answering any question. I don't duck them, and then I have facts to back them up, and that's why we won the debate, and we've gotten so much positive feedback from that, because we lay it out right there for people to see, black and white.
I went out with my friend on Friday night, my buddy Joe, and he's as passionate about the city as I am, and he said an interesting thing, and I'm trying to figure it out, like what it means. Well, I'll just tell you what he said. He said the leadership, whoever it is, needs to decide whether Danbury is going to be treated like a city or a town. What do you think about that?
I think he's absolutely right. I think that's some of their challenges right there. We can't get out of our own way for certain things. Here, you have been talking about plans that have been implemented forever, and I made a comment on the debate, and I meant it. We've been hearing plans forever, but what we want to see is results that are tangible, that we can feel and touch, right? I don't want a plan that's up high in the sky that, some of our kids are the same age, that our kids, when they're in college, might be able to benefit from. We all want to go down there. Ethan, you remember Danbury when Tuxedos had shows. We had bands like 311 come down. We had big artists. Now we have a boondoggle there. The city owns the building. It's been empty forever. It's probably rat infested. What a great, analogy of what the city government has been, just this big empty spider web of nothing. You've had a few things happening, but where are they? I mean, you've had plans, you've had time to implement these plans, and here we are. We need a change. We need to drive ourselves. We are the region city. Our neighboring towns are looking for Danbury to lead. I've been on tons of calls over the years, meetings with our neighboring leaders, and they're all with me because they see the opportunity. They see how important it is to have a chief executive in the city that's going to participate. I can't tell you the countless meetings I've been to just last month alone where you would think that, our mayor or his chief of staff would be, present on. One of them for arts and culture. Another meeting that I know people, haven't gone to is the Houstonic Refuse Organization, which is neighboring communities where Danbury has a 33% vote on. The chief executive hasn't been there, and I don't know how long. They send a surrogate there, but a leader has to lead, and the whole region is looking for Danbury to lead. We are the region city. We need to act like the region city. We need to create high-paying jobs because that helps everybody. And then that other narrative of how great Danbury is doing, I think it is, but he fails to say that this is a fact. According to the United Way, they have a report called the ALICE report, Asset Limited, Income Constrained but Employed. And that's people who are struggling every day to pay their bills. And that's 50% of Danbury, guys. That's 50% of Danbury struggling before the pandemic. So, again, I mean, maybe he doesn't see it after he gets out of the office, he goes to Brookfield. But that's what the reality is in Danbury. 50% of Danbury is struggling, and that's before the pandemic. When they say that we have record unemployment, we have 4% unemployment, that is absolutely true. But the other caveat of that is the folks who live in Danbury, 60% of them commute to go work somewhere else. So 60% of our workforce is somewhere else. I want a city that people don't just live in. I don't want just a bedroom community. I want a place where people are coming to live, work, and play.
All right,
and that's what we're going for, gentlemen.
I'm sorry, I got to cut you off because we're running out of time. We have to go shoot a beer commercial, believe it or not.
I can go talk about this over a beer, and I can just do Instagram Live for me because clearly I have a lot to say. I have way more than 700 words.
Remind me next week. I want to talk about retail weed sales. We haven't brought this up yet, so next week I want to do that with both of you. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Excellent.
Talk to you later.
All right. There you go.
Thanks, Roberto.
Roberto,
Bye, everybody.
Roberto Alves.